The Google Pixel 10 Pro XL looks to be another solid offering from Google. We got it in its jade colorway, and its signature minimal aesthetic makes it quite tempting to switch over and use it as a daily driver. The real question is, how will it fare with our gaming gauntlet of Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering with the Gamesir G5 and PUBG Mobile at their highest possible settings. Performance-wise, the Google Pixel 10 Pro XL that we have is running the Google Tensor G5 for its CPU. Its GPU is from Imagination Tech, the PowerVR D Series DXT 481536, 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and everything plays out on a 6.8-inch Super Extra LTPO OLED 120Hz display. And lastly, it has a 5200 mAh battery. So before we do anything, let's check temperatures real quick. Starting from the top over here, where the camera is at 27.2, nothing too funky. All right, all the way on its back over here. It's a really nice and glossy texture on the back here, 27.3 all around. Let's check the front. From the top, where the front-facing camera is at, 27.3. Looks to be, 27.4. That's to be expected. It is the display after all. We are 100% battery, and we will not be using PUBG today. We will be using Google's own FPS counter. Alright, so we are in Genshin Impact right now. Let's check out settings real quick. And also, just to let you know, the counter will be on the top left-hand side. Alright, so we set everything to the highest render resolution, high shadow quality, high visual effects. SFX quality is on high, highest environment details 60 FPS. This is the highest we can go to. Motion blur on high, bloom turned on, anti-aliasing is TAA, and that's about it. And there's an option for current graphics API, and it's set to OpenGL. Alright, so let's do a little character switching real quick to see if there are any noticeable drops. So far, so good. Alright, let's run through the city real quick. And so far, I think things are okay. We're kind of dropping to 54. It's dropping even further. Oh, it went back up again. People are out. Alright, they're filling in right now. So far, so good. Little jump and dash. Oh. That's weird. Okay. Alright, change it up. We're down to 46 FPS. We're going back up to 50. It's not super stable, but the thing is, like, you know, at least the frame rate drops aren't super jarring. 53, 52, 47 as you head outside here. And yeah, I think so far so good. No major complaints. Let's head out and do some commissions. We're out here in the open. Not that many issues we've been encountering, but the thing is, like, we can't get like a solid 60 FPS, of course. And why is the commission so far away? I'll pick another commission after this, but let's just do a little open world combat with these healer chills over here and see how this works out. Alright, let's change it up. Nice. So far so good, but we're only at 55. Change it up again. There you go. And yeah, okay, so far combat in the open. Oh, that's a pretty rough drop. The first instance so far, but besides that, it's alright, I think. But yeah, as you can see, we dropped to 40 just now. Let's do a commission. Hopefully we'll be able to hit that land over there. Oh, okay, at least we're on land right now. Let's just increase our stamina real quick. Oh, and I screwed myself just a little bit. Nice. Okay. Need to swim over to that one over there. There were 12 of these, but to be out so far at sea, I think this is alright. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But you know what, generally I think combat and a bit of exploration on the open world is okay. We just need to see how this fares with the Spiral Abyss. Let me just get these guys real quick. Ow. Alright, those guys are down. But yeah, this will take too long. Let's just get on with the Spiral Abyss. I think exploration and everything outside is okay, but we need to see how this fares with more mobs. We begin. Alright, ulti real quick. Nice, we completely missed this guy. ulti again. So far, actually, it's pretty smooth when it comes to the abyss. Take it out. Alright, here we go. Ulti. So far, so good. I think that, you know, if you're planning to play Genshin with this, especially if you're a dude with big hands like I am, you're probably going to need to get a controller or something. Not that you can't play without a controller, it's just, you know, just more comfortable that way. Oh wait, it's still up there. And here we go. Alright, so that's about 12 minutes of gameplay so far. Let's check temperatures real quick. Starting from the front where the front-facing camera is at 37.4. Honestly, actually pretty decent numbers, 39. Usually I expect it to hit like at least 40 throughout the phone, but as you can see here, it's definitely right under 40 by about what, like, oh, we reached 40k. Yeah, it's 40 over here. My bad, I'll take that back. So yeah, these numbers are pretty much what I'm expecting for Genshin with a phone like this. Let's go to the back where the camera module is at 36.4, 37, 39.2, 39.1, 38.6, 37.8, 37.2, 36.7. Alright, 34.9. Actually, honestly, these are actually great numbers, especially for its back. I understand the display because, you know, it's a display and it's showing everything, but like,
there are better ways to seek out our enemies than, well, standing here.
Now this is great. Honestly, quite impressive and surprising thermal management coming from Google. And also after about 12 minutes of gameplay, we are currently at 96% battery, so that's 4% altogether. And with that, let's move on to our next game, Zenless Zone Zero. Alright, so we've given it about like 3 to 4 minutes to cool down a little bit from Genshin Impact. Let's check temperatures again real quick to see how quickly, you know, the thermal management works. And so far, as you can see, look at that, 33, 33.8. This was about 40 about 3 to 4 minutes ago. Look at that. This thing handles heat very well after you play games. Obviously, if you put them in your pocket once you play, you know, it obviously will be a bit slower in terms of cooling down, but this is still cool as hell. Look at that. Check out the front over here with the front-facing camera, 34 all the way through 34.1. And yeah, that actually looks pretty solid. All right, let's get into Zenless Zone Zero. Alright, so we are in Zenless Zone Zero right now. Let's check our settings real quick before we start anything. Alright, so for graphics, we've set everything to the highest. Again, all of these games will be set to the highest graphical settings. So that's why, you know, if you see performance doesn't really go the way that we would like to see it go, it's really because we're pushing the games, you know, it's really because we're pushing the phone to its limits. And everything's been set to high, enabled. Alright, and this is what we're working with right now. Alright, so let's walk down 6th Street over here. We're at 60 FPS right now, and it will definitely go down. Oh boy, yo, we went on like what, 20 FPS? That's a huge spike. And as you walk down 20 52, that is not great. And once again, the display is getting darker. 56, 60, and we are at the train station right now, which usually evens out to, you know, back to 60, and that is okay. Let's run it back down all the way to the other end of 6th Street. And okay, things are rendering in once again. 59, 58. Let's see if there are any huge frame rate drops over here. So far, okay. Went down by like 20, and we are back here. So far, not the greatest, but let's farm for some materials real quick. All right, not looking very good. Oh boy, wow. Okay, again, you know, we are playing at the highest graphical settings, and good lord. And also these characters I've selected also, you know, their movesets are very graphically intensive.
The time is now.
Nice.
Awaken.
I'm going to give it a fair shot and just continue on, but if this goes on for like, you know, just a bit longer, I think we kind of have our answer with Zenless at least. I somehow managed to switch up from that. Miyabi as a thing. Let's go. Oh boy.
Processing. All exits are now free.
All right.
Let's make this quick.
Oh dear. Yeah, I think. Okay, let's just see this through. All right. Ulti.
Keep still.
Oh, you didn't even complete the entire animation. I think the phone is struggling to identify the frame rate that it's currently at. I managed to hit that perfect dodge. Oh, wow, okay, somehow it's actually evening out right now. Somehow, and we're back down to it.
Don't miss this.
Alright, Miyabi. Ulti.
I swear on my blade.
Okay, so I think we've seen enough, but let's just give it another go. If it's the same thing with the next round, then we're just gonna end it right there. Alright, fire anomaly and all, let's go in. Oh boy. I managed to get that perfect assist-ish. Did I manage to hit that? I did not. I did not as well. Somehow it's evening out right now. Nice. I somehow managed that.
There's a breather too.
Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, okay, okay. You know what? Let's just keep going. Holy crap. Oh, wait, right. I somehow managed to hit a perfect assist with that. So, oh wow, it's actually evening out somehow. But like, I want to hold my breath because I don't think I can make it through. Nice, ulti. Okay. Even. Wait, what? Well, I didn't even realize we were on the second phase, but that's that, I guess. So we played for about 9 minutes right now. We had the game up for 9 minutes. We are at 90%. We started at 94. Let's check temperatures real quick. Starting from the top where the front-facing camera is at 35.8, 36.1, 37. Honestly, pretty good temperatures for Zenless right now. Obviously, the performance, when it comes to performance, you guys definitely need to tweak it down a bit more and not set everything to the highest like I did, like for sure. But you know what, like for some reason thermal management has been great. Like I'm just as confused. All right, 34, 34.9, 38, 37.6. Yeah, these are looking pretty all right. Like yeah, these are okay. These are great numbers. Honestly, why is it not hitting 40 degrees or like 43 degrees like we've seen with other phones and other flagship phones? That, yeah, so that's the one thing Google has going for it, which is honestly just very impressive. Okay, so with that, let's move on to our next game, Wuthering Waves. But before we do that, here is a message from our friends at Secretlab. At Geek Culture, Secretlab is our everyday ergonomic buddy. Whether we're making videos, writing up a storm, or gaming for hours on end, we are comfortably seated and feel right at home without the aches and pains. Secretlab provides ergonomic support from head to toe, with a dynamic lumbar support system that adapts to your movements along with a proprietary medium foam cushioning that optimizes pressure distribution. They even have accessories like the ergonomic recliner add-on to keep your legs elevated and well rested at any angle you like. For more information, check out secretlab.co. Alright, so we are going to be starting with Wuthering Waves in a bit with the Gamesir G5+, but you know what, we're going to check temperatures real quick just before we start. As per usual, we gave the phone about 3 to 5 minutes to rest, so let's just check out temperatures, starting with the back over here, where the camera's at, 32.6, alright, 33.6, 33.4, 32.2, 32.9, alright, 31.7. Okay, so it has cooled down a little bit, and honestly, I'm still very surprised that they handled Zenless that way. That was honestly pretty sick. Let's check temperatures at the front over here. 34.1. Yep, this thing really does cool down very, very quickly. Look at that from the bottom to the top. All right, let's start Wuthering Waves. Alright, so I'm going to be putting the phone into the Gamesir G5 Plus, and let's just put it in here, and it's, oh, this feels really good. Nice firm grip over here, and the camera bump over here is nicely done, so it won't get affected or damaged by the sliding bits over here. So this is looking pretty good. Alright, so we're in Wuthering Waves right now with the Gamesir G5 Plus. Let's just check our settings real quick before we start. Oh yeah, and before we start, we are also at 86% battery. Graphics qualities, everything's set to high. 60 FPS, high special effects quality, FSR turned on, ultra high shadow quality, LOD bias on high, on anti-aliasing, blooms turned on, crowd density is on high, enemy hit flash turned on, damage numbers turned on, physics-based animation turned on, letterbox on, everything is set. Again, we are playing at the high settings, so obviously, you know, if the phone doesn't run very well, it's just because, you know, it's not at the optimal settings for the phone and its hardware. But we're just trying things out to see how much we can push it. Right, so let's run through the city real quick. Nice, so far so alright, I guess. 33, we were at 40 for a bit. I don't think we can even get 60 out of this thing, to be honest. It really is one of the more graphically intensive games that we have in our lineup, and you know, just in general. And as you run through over here with all the crowds and everything, and the cafe over here, 45, 48, 47, 44. We're not going to get, you know, the full 60 FPS with Wuthering, as we've seen with a lot of other phones, so it's not just this phone. Alright, with that, let's just get into a boss fight. Here we go, and I think I chose the boss with, you know, with the larger health by mistake. But so far so good. We may not make it out of this one, folks, but you know what, it's fine. But so far performance has been great, to the point that I can just focus on the game, which is nice. Ulti, somehow we're not dead yet, and oh, we got him. Nice. Okay, so that was about a 10-minute fight, I think. So far we are at 83%, not too bad, and honestly was a pretty enjoyable fight, to the point that, I mean, performance was great somehow. I was not expecting that. Alright, you're going to be heading out of GT Village over here to get some exploration done. 42, 37, things are not looking that great, to be honest. Oh boy. I do need to find a point to heal everyone. Performance wise, everything has been okay so far. I mean, at least when it comes to, you know, having a boss fight and everything in an arena format, but out here it's a whole different story. Right, ability, ulti. Nice, and we got him. I mean, so far we're doing okay-ish. It's just that, you know, when it comes to exploration and fighting out, you know, in the outdoors, that's where most of the problems happen. So I think if you want to get the, you know, an optimal gaming experience for Wuthering with this phone, you know, you definitely have to dial it back. So honestly, Genshin and Wuthering are kind of in the same boat. But I'm just surprised that they actually are performing pretty well when it comes to arena stuff, somehow. So we played for about 50 minutes. So got all the way through boss battle and everything. Boss battle was actually really smooth somehow. No huge frame rate drop. It's been pretty consistent in its own way. And I'll say, you know, if you're going to pick this up, this is actually a really good size for a gaming controller like this. So, you know, if you want to pick something like up, you know, just get the Gamesir G5 Plus. It's been great, and it, you know, it does well for so many phones and devices out there. And we are currently 80% battery after 15 minutes of gameplay, or rather 15 minutes of uptime. Starting from the top over here. 36.8, 37, 39.5, yep. Somehow this thing runs a lot hotter than Zenless. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. But you know, this thing really has great thermal management properties, if I have not said that enough so far. Look at that. Starting from the top over here where the front facing camera is at 36.1, 35, 37.5, 38. Yeah, these are actually great numbers even for Wuthering. Usually it'd be about 40 from both sides, but you know, look at this. This is great. All right, even from afar. Yeah, this is really good. All right. with that, let's get into our final game, PUBG Mobile. Alright, so we're heading to our last game, PUBG Mobile. Let's check temperatures before we start. Currently we are at 79% battery. Let's check temperatures real quick. 30.9, 31.6. Alright, this thing does cool down pretty quickly. Again, left it for like 3 to 5 minutes to cool. And look at that. That makes a lot of difference in between game sessions. Camera module down the middle, and this thing cools down pretty damn quickly. Look at that. What the hell? That's great. Okay, PUBG Mobile. Alright, we are in PUBG right now. Let's check settings before we start. For graphics, I set it to smooth and ultra extreme frame rate because it does support ultra extreme. And that is about it. So let's get into a match. So far so good. No big frame drops whatsoever. I mean, we are playing on smooth and it's ultra extreme, so I'm not really expecting a lot of hiccups with this thing. Alright, and let's hit straight down. All the way through, hopefully not that many squads to deal with, but you know, equally I hope there are more squads to deal with so this game can go a lot quicker. Alright, that is alright. At least we have something to work with. Oh, there's a heavy stock over here for SMGs. I'm gonna grab that. A muzzle brake, wow. Oh, okay, pull back, pull back, pull back. Alright, let's 2 guys down. Oh. Oh, interesting. Oh, second floor. Okay, that was kind of busy. There we go. That was a nice little bit of teamwork. Alright. God damn it. Yeah, that was just kind of wasted, to be honest. I was too greedy. But yeah, we played for about 10 minutes right now. Let's check temperatures. Currently we are at 76% battery over here. Let's check our temperatures real quick. 33.7, 33.2, 34.2. That's all right. 34.1. All right, these are expected numbers for PUBG Mobile. Check the back over here. Starting from the top over here where the camera module is at, 33.2. And yeah, nothing much to write home about. Pretty standard numbers, good numbers, and great thermal management for about 10 minutes of gameplay. So I think we have enough for our final thoughts. The Google Pixel 10 Pro XL is really good at thermal management. I have not seen lower temperatures for Zenless and Wuthering post-game in a very long while. Of course, you would definitely need to tweak the performance on all the games down at least 2 notches to get smoother gameplay. Zenless played like a slideshow for the most part. However, Genshin and Wuthering played alright on the highest settings possible, which is kind of surprising. Of course, not at our desired consistent 60 FPS mark, but played well within the 40 to 30 FPS range. Somehow it ran the arenas with the boss fight in Wuthering and the spiral bits in Genshin pretty well. And of course, PUBG played without a hitch. To wrap this up, you can definitely get some gaming done with this phone, but don't expect it to play on epic graphical levels of course. Its thermal management is this phone's greatest strength, and hopefully this continues with future models. Anyway, let me know in the comment section if you're thinking of getting it, and if you have any questions, we'll do our best to get to them. If you like what we do, make sure to follow us on all of our socials right here, and maybe leave a like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way in helping out the channel. If you want to see more stuff, check this out.